So we're going to talk about our photos and how we can manage and organize them. In earlier lessons we talked about the libraries, and so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look at my picture library. So you'll be aware that any group of pictures, you can find those pictures and then just click on them and add them to your library. So I'm going to assume that you now know how to do that. And we're in our libraries here, and I've got pictures, and straight away you can see that there's different ways of grouping them. So as default they are grouped in folders, but what we can do is all photos can be given a rating. So if I come down here and click on the rating, you can see that some of my photos have a 5-star rating, some have a 4-star, 3-star, and I've got over 1,000 that are unrated. Well, I'm going to change that. So I've got a couple of photos here that I'm actually going to rate, and I can either select one photo, or if I hold down Shift, I can select both photos. Holding down Shift is quite an interesting thing. If I hold down Shift and select from here to here, what it will do is select all the files. If I just want to hold down Control, what it will do is it will only select the files that I click on. So Shift and Control, two different ways. We'll talk about that later on anyway. But for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to hold down Shift. I've selected these two photos. It's of my mother-in-law's dishwasher. She wants to sell it on Gumtree, if anyone wants to buy one. And now come down here, you'll see I've got the rating. And what I can do is, it's a 5-star rating. I can choose what star I want to rate it. And they're pretty bad pictures, so I'm just going to click it 1 star. Immediately in the bottom right you can see then I can save that. And then against these photos, what it's done, it is now rated those photos with a single star. And you've just seen now that the actual Explorer window has now been updated. And they're there in the 1-star category. So that's one way to do it. Another way, so I've got to remember about over 1,000 photos here in this library. What I might want to do is view them by the month. So there's plenty of folders. Let's go have a look again, remind ourselves. Plenty of folders, plenty of photos, and I actually have all of my photos from my iPhone on here. So when I click on month, it's going to take just a few seconds just to kind of organize it. And then what you can actually see is it's taken all of those photos and organize them by the month that they were taken. Very, very useful if you want perhaps to look at a certain time of year. So I'm going to come down, and perhaps I can see the word Dad there. So if I now click on this, I double click on here, I go into the month February 2011, and you can then see that it's further divided by the actual date that they are actually taken. If I want to go back, it's just at the very top left. You can just click back to get back to where we were. So by default, it shows you them in a folder option, but you can view them, organize them by month. You can organize them by rating, by day. And then there's a final option called tag. Tag's very, very useful. For example, you may be doing a certain event and you want to tag those photos with an event, and then you can very easily sort your photos by those tags. So for example, in this example, you can see I have a number of folders, and I have these two photos that are going to be put on Gumtree. So what I can do is, if I again select them both, and at the very bottom again we come down where we did a rating, I can add a tag. If I click on here, what I can now do is I can now just type in Gumtree. And then when I click Save, I can now filter my photos via tag. So if I come down to tag, I can now see that I have all of the unspecified, and there'll be over 1,000 photos there. Yep, 1,200. But then I also have the photos tagged with Gumtree. So I can just double click on there, and those are my two photos. So tagging, really, really powerful way of grouping your photos. What I would recommend is play around a little bit People are using digital cameras a lot more. Your photos are often residing on your computers. Try and stay organized. It's far better to find a way of getting organized and then maintaining that rather than having thousands and thousands of pictures that you then need to go back and somehow organize. There we go. Post any questions if you have them.